Hello, and welcome to Still Buffering, a sister's guide to teens through the ages. I'm Rileigh Smirl.
And I'm Sydnee McElroy. And we're back with
Yay!
the second episode.
We made it!
We made it. We didn't get canceled after one.
I thought we might. It was a fear of mine.
That doesn't happen. But
I mean, you never know.
If it did, I was worried it might to us. We might make history.
Podcast history, but in a bad way.
The first canceled podcast. iTunes comes in and says, you're canceled. You're done.
Just says, nope, get out.
We won't host you anymore.
That didn't happen, though. We're here.
It didn't. So I think, Rileigh, since our first episode seemed to work out, maybe we should try it again. Maybe
try another one?
Yeah, let's try another one. Do you have any other, teen questions? Any other, horrible teen quandaries that you found yourself in that I can help you out of again?
Well, I had a situation happen recently with some of my friends, my girlfriends.
Lay it on me, because I understand friend,
Oh, right.
The girl group dynamics. I am so attuned to that.
I thought so. That's why I came to you for this one. So I'm in a group message with 14 of my other girlfriends. There's 15 high school age, 15, 16-year-old girls in this group text.
A group, so it's on your phone,
yes,
a group text. Okay.
Texting,
right.
I
do that. No, I'm all over that.
All right. So we're all in this group text, and there's a girl on there who never talked to any of us. And I didn't know her, and I was like, hey, what's happening? Why is she in here not saying anything? And then someone removed her from the group text, and then everyone left the group text, and then all of us got added back into the group text by some person we don't know, and then we're all in this group text, and apparently this girl who was on the group text not saying anything was listening to all of us and was telling people things that we were saying in our group text, which we thought was safe.
Okay, let's back it up. So you're text messaging.
Yes.
And there are other people text messaging
at the same
all at the same time. Now, I'm confused as to how did the girl get in? How didn't somebody have to invite her?
Yeah,
or can you just join at will? Who is the founder of the group?
So there was a founder.
Right.
And she made this with a bunch of other people before I was friends with them over the summer. And I became friends with them in the beginning of the school year. And then I was added in.
Right.
So I'm the newbie. I'm the newest one in this group message. Okay. Even though it's been 5 months. But these girls were in there before me. So they added her in before I was aware that she was in the group message.
So they knew she was in.
Right. I didn't even know she was in it because I just knew the people that were in it that were talking. But she never talked.
And it was going on for 5 months?
Yeah.
Is that typical?
I mean, not usually. The longest group text I've ever been in is a month. But I guess these are cool girls. I'm in with the cool girls now.
Why do you have okay, what kind of information are you exchanging in a group text that lasts a month?
Okay, so I'm going to be honest. Literally nothing important.
Okay.
Some of them are probably listening to this right now. So it's fun. Don't kick me out. But nothing important. Whenever we just think of anything that we need to tell our friends for some reason, we just send it in the group text.
But what if why don't you just tell the friend that you want to, do you want to tell all those people? Because obviously there might be secret people. By the way, this is a lot like that movie, that scary movie we watched.
The rat movie again?
No, the scary movie, Unfriended.
Oh, it is like Unfriended.
It sounds like you're in the beginning of a horror movie, and that this person is actually, isn't it a ghost? It's a ghost of somebody who died, and they're gonna, guys are all gonna get killed. Are your friends getting picked off one by a mysterious supernatural force?
Not yet, but she's gone now, so I think we're good. Okay. I think we're good. We took her out once, and then somehow she mysteriously got added back in.
That's what I'm saying.
And no one knows how she got added back in. This is a real story. No one knows how she got added back in.
Okay, this is how urban legends
but she's alive.
Start.
I see her at school.
Okay. And she hasn't killed anybody?
No.
That you know of?
That I know of.
Okay.
This is where the plot thickens.
This is what I'm confused is, so you don't use this group text thing to exchange any relevant information.
Well, if we all want to hang out with each other, we're just hey, let's all hang out, and then we make plans, so it's not I'm texting this person and I'm texting this person, and we're all together.
Okay, so this is how you would organize an outing.
Yeah, it only works out half of the time, because most of the time the plans just end up falling through, but 20% of the time, that's how we make plans.
See, because what I would have done in high school to make plans. This is a very foreign concept to me, because if I wanted, you know, my friend to come over or like to go to the mall or whatever, you know, I would have like called her or his house.
Called them? Their house?
Well,
what if they're not the ones that answer?
Well, I mean, that was one thing you had to expect. Like, I've always had a little bit of phone awkwardness. Well, not so much now, but I used to. And so I actually would practice ahead of time, like, because you pick up your landline. You're familiar with the concept of a landline.
I think we used to have one.
You did?
Not like an old phone landline, but like, you know, like a, I don't know, like a landline. I don't know.
What's an old phone landline?
Like the ones that have like the little circle on the front and like the cord that's attached to it. Yeah. The cord wasn't attached to ours. It was like a little like place you could put it so it could sleep. But then when you need to call someone, you could just pick it up and talk to it.
Right, a cordless phone.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Why? Yeah. Okay.
Well, and we did, you know, through most of my teenage years, we had cordless phones. Now I do remember a corded phone, the ones with the curly cord on them.
Yeah.
But I had the ones that you pushed buttons on again through most of my
youth. Okay.
The dial-up ones, the rotary phones, as they're called.
They're called rotary phones?
Yeah, where you turn the numbers.
Uh-huh.
That even predates me a little bit. I mean, I remember they existed. I've used them. I understand how to use them, but those are a little older. Mm-hmm. But, yes, so you would pick up your phone, your home phone, your landline, and you would you dial the number that you would have to know.
You'd have to memorize it?
Yeah. So, like, I had my best friend's numbers memorized, and the ones that I didn't, I just had, like, written down. Like, actually, I kept a list in my diary.
Okay, wait, that's a whole nother thing. Like, you had a diary.
I had a diary.
But you memorized them? Because I honestly, other than like mom and dad's phone numbers because they made me, I could not tell you the first digit of any of my friends' numbers.
Those are your best friends, the ones that you knew their number. And again, I didn't know everybody's number, and that's why I had the diary list. But you would have to know, because you would call them a lot, and you know, like I knew their parents well enough to like say Mr. or Mrs. like whoever. Hi, this is Sydney. I'm calling for Stacy. Is she available?
That sounds so uncomfortable to me. Having to talk to someone that's not your friend, that's your friend's parent.
Yeah.
Like, I haven't even met half my friends' parents.
See, we had to, because we had to talk to him on the phone.
Oh, that's so awkward. Like,
but that's what I would have done. So if I wanted to make plans with one person, I would have just called him up. If I wanted to make plans with more than one person, I would either like call each one, or I mean, like three-way calling existed, like where you could get two people on the phone with you at the same time.
That's a thing.
That is a thing. But I didn't use that a lot. I mean, I like in movies they use that, but I never used that a lot.
They use that in Mean Girls.
Yes, exactly. So that you could do that, but we didn't do that much. Like I would call somebody, and then I'd be like, hey, you know, Melissa, why don't you call Lisa? And then somebody else would call Sarah, and like everybody would call. You know what? Almost like a phone tree or a phone chain. Like somebody would just call somebody. That way you didn't have to call everybody. Like everybody called one person.
I don't know what a phone tree is, but I get what you're saying.
Right. So like that's how we would have made plans. You know, like organized events and such.
See, now it's just like text in the group text, like, hey, who wants to hang? Hit me up. BRB.
But then you can just ignore it, and you don't have. Yeah. Well, I mean, because it allows you to not commit or decline. You know what I mean? Because like if you call somebody, you got them on the phone, and you say, hey, do you want to go to the mall today? You know, we can go. We can hang out. And
hang out at the mall, because that's a cool thing to do.
It was cool to hang out at the mall. Okay, it was very cool. We liked to hang out at the mall, and you know, like I said, Scan the Limited too.
Claire's, too.
Check out Claire's for all the earrings.
Claire's still exists.
Yeah,
go to Claire's.
We'd check it out and get some earrings. Yeah. And then hit up Chick-fil-A.
Okay, well, this is getting farther and farther away from what hanging out is like now. At first, it was like, mall, okay, I get it. Claire's, I mean, maybe like middle school, but now we're just at like the point where it's like, come on. That's not what we do nowadays, these hip new teens.
Oh. Or maybe like if you wanted to go to the skating rink.
Okay. No, I don't even think I've been to a skating rink since like 5th grade when I got enough reading points.
To be fair, I didn't like skating. My friends did that more. I would go, but I can't skate. I have weak ankles.
I get it. We have the same genetics.
Anyway, so if you wanted to like like I was saying, if you want to make plans, you want to hang out at the mall or whatever, I would just call people, and then they could commit or decline, but they weren't able to just ignore. See, the text thing worries me, because like then you could have somebody in the group who like they don't want to go, but they don't want to say they don't want to, because whoever wants to turn somebody down, right? You always want to like just be able to just disappear, go mute, and not have to say anything. So like what if you asked and nobody responded at all?
Then it's just like, okay, cool, thanks guys, you know, and then they all feel bad, so then they say yes. They're like, oh, I was in the shower. I'm doing air quotes right now, but you can't see them. I was in the shower. I was eating dinner.
That's very crafty.
Doing homework, which you know is the fakest one, because none of us ever do homework.
You do.
Do I?
Don't front. Don't front. You do your homework.
So you're just trying to sound cool.
Front is still a thing, right?
No.
Not really? You don't say that anymore?
Try to front. Don't try to front.
Don't front?
No.
Oh.
I've never said that word in my entire life.
Okay, I still say that. I had a teenager at work today tell me I was kind of cool. Okay?
Oh, wow.
So
Did they really?
Just deal with it.
Okay.
Just deal with it.
I will.
I also had another one tell me I look like a nerd. So
well, okay. Well,
even split on the day. 50,
you get
50.
One, you know.
At the end, I come out the same as
same as you win it. There you go.
But that, you know, this is different though. Okay, so we talked about like making plans. Like if I was going to communicate with friends, just like chatting, like, you know, just like talk, like you said, like talking about just whatever, you know, things you want to just, hey, you won't believe what just happened on TV, or like, you know, did you hear about the latest like political scandal?
Okay,
you know?
We don't talk about political scandals.
Things that you want to talk about with your friends, or like back in my high school days, it would have been like with my theater friends, I would have been like, hey, I just memorized all the words to the first act of Rent. Do you want to come over later and we'll sing them? I guess that's some of your plans, like that kind of thing,
right?
So like if I just wanted to like chat with people, we could either talk on the phone, or there was like instant messenger.
What?
Like AIM.
Okay. Any other examples? Instances?
So like, okay, instant messenger, or like for instance, I started with something called Prodigy, which Justin had to explain to me what I was actually using. It wasn't even like, apparently it wasn't the internet. It was like you're online and you're connected with other people and you can look at what they do and you can chat with them, but you're not even like in the internet, so to speak. I don't even understand.
I don't understand. And I understand a lot about the internet and like talking to people. I don't understand anything about what you're saying. You have to
understand. There was a time when if I was going to get online, the way that I did that was go to my computer and go to AOL and then type in a bunch of stuff and click a button and wait for our phone lines to plug me into the internet.
Your phones were connected to your computers?
The phone lines are how you logged onto the internet. And so you would hear this like awful sound that like you waited for that meant you were connecting. And like, I don't even know how to, I'm going to play it for you later. There's this awful sound that would happen and you could tell like, was it going through? Was it patching through? Was it working? Was it working? And like, if you did, then you were online. And if somebody called while you were online, like you might get kicked off.
So wait, like you couldn't talk on the phone with someone at the same time that you were using the internet?
No, not if you had a phone line, unless you had more than one line. No.
You had to have more than one. What's even a line? Like,
okay,
now,
this is a whole other thing.
See, like if I want to like use the internet, it's just like, hey, I have a homework question. I'm going to FaceTime you on my laptop and then put you in a separate window. And then while I'm doing my homework, and then you can tell me what I'm doing.
See, none of this would have existed. If I wanted to ask somebody a homework question, first of all, I would have just called them on the landline. Secondly, if I wanted to do it through a computer, I could do it through AOL Instant Messenger, which was like you log onto the internet and then you send somebody, it was like a text message.
So it's like computer texting?
Yeah, exactly. It's like computer texting or like Facebook messaging. So,
but then what if like you leave your computer? What if like you like gotta go eat, or like you gotta go shower?
This is the best part about AIM. So you would chat with them on AOL, and I might do that. Like I might chat with my friends on AOL Instant Messenger. And if I wanted to leave, you could leave an away message. So if they tried to message you, up would pop this away message that said like, something incredibly clever and
so
cute.
You probably spent more time actually coming up with your away message than you were actually going to be gone.
Absolutely. Like you would put on there like, for me, like, not here right now, I'm wasting away again in Margaritaville.
Okay, more Jimmy Buffett. Good. Obviously this was a cool thing back in the day. You got your Jimmy Buffett music at your parties, got your Jimmy Buffett away message. Is that what it's called?
Yeah, your away message.
I didn't even know that existed.
And it would pop up and you could make it sound super cute, or like if you wanted to be like, kind of angsty, make it sound like tortured and kind of sad, like
lyrics. Could you do that?
Yeah, like song lyrics were a very popular thing to put on there. Like I had lots of Weezer lyrics, lots of like Tori Amos lyrics, and
again, I just don't know.
I know.
But okay, do you think bringing that back would be uncool?
I thought it was very cool. I mean, what is cooler than like your friend wants to talk to you, and instead of talking to you, they just get this like enigmatic, like, ooh, these little earthquakes, here we go again. What does that mean?
Is that
What's
a lyric?
Wrong with Sydney? Yes, it is.
Okay. Well, okay. So would it be uncool if in this group message, per se, I wanted to go eat dinner? I didn't want to have my phone with me because I was like, going to go tech free.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, being
That's
cool.
That's a good idea, yeah.
Okay. And then I just send my friends a text with like, this is my away message. And then I put an away message in, and then I leave it. Is that uncool?
Well, I mean, I don't know. It would seem kind of odd. Like it might seem kind of aggressive that you're like, here is an away message.
So don't talk to me.
You didn't ask if I was leaving. I'm telling you.
Oh, okay. But like on these instant messengers, could you like accumulate messages when you were gone? Like, could people still send you a bunch of stuff? Because I find that problem a lot. Like, I leave the group message to go shower for like 20 minutes, and I come back and I have literally 138 text messages.
Yeah, I mean, see, okay, that probably wouldn't have happened because people would get your away message, and then like, why would they keep?
They get the hint.
Why would they keep messaging you?
We need to bring back away messages.
I think that's a great idea.
But then what if they have? I guess you didn't have group AIMs.
Well, we didn't have group AIMs, but we did have like chat rooms.
Is that the same thing as a group text?
It could be. Like you could have a private chat room, which would be like a group text, which you invited people into, and it was the same thing. It was on the computer, but it was like texting, and you would just sit there and type, and like only the people that you invited into the chat room could talk.
Oh, okay. So it's like a computer group text.
Exactly.
So like a Twitter group text? Like a group DM?
Yes.
Okay.
Except for not attached to Twitter.
Not attached to social media.
And not limited to 140 characters.
Okay.
So you could just type whatever you wanted. So like, because there were private chat rooms, but there were also public chat rooms.
Where you just talk with literally anyone?
Yeah.
That's kind of scary.
That it's terrifying. That is where like the internet started for me. Like that was the first time like I was on there like chatting with my friends, and then there were all these, so my friends would come over so we could get in, like we could physically sit there together and be in a chat room on the internet with people we didn't know, and then just get in there and see like what we could say to like freak people out and mix it up.
You and all your friends sitting in your room. I know what your old room looks like, so I'm imagining you all sitting in your room eating your ramen. I'm assuming you probably were doing. Listening to Jimmy Buffett in the background.
Probably.
And then imagining, just the way you described it, imagining all of you and your cool friends. Imagining yourself sitting in a room with all of these people you didn't know. Like an actual physical room.
That was pretty much it.
That's what you did for fun?
Oh, we would. Now, to be fair, it was in the computer room because remember, we didn't have laptops. Right. I mean, we had the big family computer.
The computer.
The big computer that was in the
guest bedroom.
Yeah, the guest bedroom.
Yeah.
So we had the big family computer, and we would all pull up a chair around the family computer, wait to get logged in, hope nobody called, and sit there in chat rooms, which was totally dangerous. And there were definitely times where like we would be talking to somebody, and then they'd be like, I'm a 50-year-old man. And it was like,
So, Omegle?
What?
Do you know what that is?
What?
That's pretty much that, right? I'm saying right as if there's other people here that get what I'm saying.
I have no idea what you're talking to me about.
It's like a thing that you can go on your computer, and you can like video chat with a random person, but you know it's going to be a random person, but you can also just chat with this person.
Yeah. This is the same idea. You could do
just as creepy.
That is creepy. Don't do that.
You don't do
that.
I don't.
No.
I don't.
Okay.
My friends do. I don't.
Okay, good. Yeah, no, don't do that. Because, I mean, that was the thing. Like, we thought, like, oh, this is kind of fun and exciting. We're talking to strangers. They could be anywhere. They could be anywhere in the world. I mean, eventually, this was a neat concept to us. Right. The idea that you could be talking to somebody somewhere else in the world. This was
Even
all
though
brand
that's
new.
like all that today is.
Exactly.
It's like all it now
This
is.
was a brand new idea. And it never occurred to us when we were younger that people would use this for, nefarious purposes.
Bad things.
Yes.
Really bad things.
So don't, because, I mean, maybe like you'll make a cool new pen pal in Tokyo, or
a pen pal,
or whatever the equivalent would be today.
I don't even know what the equivalent to a pen pal would be now. Just a follower on Twitter. A friend on Facebook.
Maybe you'll get a cool new follower on Twitter, or maybe you're going to be featured on like Dateline later. So
because someone catfished you, is that what it's called? Someone catfished you, and then you just ended up dying because you thought this was like a cute teen boy, but it ended up being a very scary not teen man.
Exactly. So don't do that. Don't do that thing.
I will not do that thing. Now I'm very scared to do that thing.
Don't do that. Okay, so that's how. So we figured out how we're gonna make plans, and this is how we would communicate, like chatty, like just like how we would chat. How, I'm curious to know, how would you navigate, like, if it's somebody you like a boy or a girl that you have a crush on,
that you like
how? Because let me give you an example. In my day,
back in the day,
if it was somebody that I liked, there were a couple different things I could do. One, if we were at school and I wanted to like show them that I liked them at school, I could like write them a note.
Is this like one of those notes where it's like, do you like me? Check yes or check no.
I got some of those notes, yes.
Ooh.
By high school, we were a little more sophisticated, so it would just be like one of those like just a note to like, how are you doing? Oh my gosh, like, I cannot believe like gym class was totally crazy today.
But then you'd have to wait so long to get an answer.
Well, but I mean, that was the excitement, was like waiting to see, like, was he going to put a note in your locker, or like slip one into one of your books, or like hand you one at lunch, or have one of your friends deliver it.
Oh, then it's extra cool.
Yes. And like maybe you had different lunch periods. So like, somebody would deliver it and be like so-and-so gave this to me. Yeah.
Like a mailman.
And you had to trust your friends not to read them. And so sometimes you would have like really like cool folding on them, like fold them in neat ways.
So they couldn't open them?
Yeah. Or so you could tell, like,
So you could tell if they opened them.
Yeah. So you would learn how to fold your note in a neat way, and you would like draw little doodles or put like song lyrics. But then what if you
don't get a note back?
Well, I mean, they probably don't like you very much.
I mean, yeah.
But like there were notes, or like as I got older, we kind of moved on past notes, and certainly you could like just tell your friends to tell so and so I like them.
Right.
And you could also instant messenger them, but then there was also paging. So like, do you even know, like, what is your concept of a pager?
Okay. This is gonna sound like I'm being funny, but this is really serious. As far as pagers go, I know they use them on Grey's Anatomy.
Okay, that's fair. Nowadays, I think pagers are largely just something that like doctors and drug dealers use.
Oh, drug dealers too?
Yes.
It's growing.
It's fading.
Oh.
There was a moment in time, and I wasn't even cool enough to have a pager, full disclosure. I had many friends who had pagers, and I was very jealous. I didn't have one. So like there was this moment between just using your parents' landline and getting a cell phone where people had pagers. And if you were super cool, then you would page somebody like with your, to let them know that you wanted to talk to them. But like you could send them like cute little messages, either like if you had a fancy pager that had words on it, or just like through numbers.
But how do you read a number message?
I don't know. They were like secret codes.
I'm assuming were you not cool enough to know that?
No, I didn't have a pager, but I'm assuming there was something more sophisticated than like 8008 means boob.
I would think so, because now that's just what people do on their calculators during math class. Like I look around at all the boys like, boob.
No, this was like a way you could send cute messages or something to somebody through a pager, other than just paging them to like say call, because that's the point of a pager. Send them your number, and that means call me back.
Oh, so like the Kim Possible theme song. Right, it's like, call me, beat me if you want to reach me.
Beat me, exactly.
Beat me.
That's
is that what a pager is?
That's what it beat me. Yeah.
Oh man, I was seeing pagers before I even knew they were pagers.
There you go. So if you wanted to tell a boy that you liked him, obviously you're not going to page him. What do you?
No. Well, I think
a boy or a girl.
I think you start out. You like their tweets.
Okay.
Or their Instagrams, if they're Facebooks, if you're still using Facebook, a lot of people still don't use Facebook now.
I'm learning that. See, I thought I was cool with Facebook, but no, right?
No. I thought I was cool with Facebook when I was like 9.
Oh.
But now I know.
Right. Now
I know.
Facebook's where the moms go, right?
Right.
Yeah. I'm a mom. I'm there.
So you like their Instagrams and their tweets. So they get the hint. They're like, oh, she's liking my tweets. She's liking my Instagrams. And then you slide into their DMs, their direct messages.
What does that mean?
It means you don't have their number yet. I mean, maybe you do. Maybe they're your friend, because then you can just text them. Uh-huh. But if it's someone you don't know, and you're like, hey, this guy or girl is very cute. I'm gonna hit them up. And then you go into their direct messages. And you can like message them and be like, hey, what's up? And then you start talking, and then eventually get to a point where you get their number, and then you have their number, and then you're in the talking phase.
And then you call them and like talk to them?
No. I have never once, other than you, mom, dad, and maybe Taylor, I can't remember the last time I talked to someone on the phone.
So what do you, so you've got there, so you just text them?
Yeah.
You could, in a group or in like just a one-on-one?
No, in a private.
Oh, now it's a private text.
You can also Snapchat. I don't Snapchat. Sometimes I Snapchat my girlfriends really ugly pictures of myself. Mm-hmm. But when it comes to boys, I don't use Snapchat.
Because that's the thing where you like send something that vanishes instantly, right?
Right.
It's like that's disappearing ink of text messaging.
Which, okay, now that I think about it, I guess it's the perfect way for some people to do bad things.
Right. Well,
but it's the perfect
thing
way.
I've heard about it.
Right. But it's a perfect way for me to take really ugly pictures of myself to make my friends laugh, but they can't keep them. I guess they could.
Yeah.
But then if they have them, then it's like, they were smart enough to screenshot it enough time. You can have it.
But what if they use it to embarrass you?
I have enough embarrassing pictures of my friends. It's kind of like a thing,
Oh.
I mean, back to the group text, all the pictures I have of my friends for the little profile pictures in my group text are ugly pictures of them.
So it's like blackmail. I have your ugly pictures. You have my ugly pictures.
Right.
We are at a stalemate.
Like, I see you screenshotted this snap. I have so many ugly pictures of you. If you post that anywhere, I will post so many ugly pictures of you.
But what you don't know is I spent the last year building up an immunity to iocane powder.
What? I don't know what just happened. Did I miss something? Did I black out?
There's a little Princess Bride reference there for you.
I don't think I've ever seen that movie.
Oh, help me. Okay, so that's what you would do if you like somebody.
Right.
Is there like like we talked about Mean Girls, is there like a Mean Girl thing that you do? Because like I would say that for the most part, if I just didn't like somebody in high school, I just didn't talk to them. I just stayed away from them.
Well,
but I mean, there were certainly, because I'd like to think I wasn't a mean girl. I was more on the other end of that.
Me too.
But I think there were certainly like I did get some mean notes periodically.
Notes?
Like I would get physically written mean notes, and then you could certainly use instant messenger to be super mean to somebody, although. Again, like that wasn't really what I did with it. I know that I fell victim to that sometimes. Like sometimes people wouldn't want to say something to your face, so then like they'd be nice to you at school, but then after school they'd like log on to AOL and say something really crappy to you in an IM. What do you do now? I
guess the standard, ignore them at school when you see them in person. Give them like the stink eye. I could see myself doing that now. I do that a lot now.
Sure.
A lot. But there's also subtweeting.
What is subtweeting?
You know what subtweeting is?
No, I don't know what that is.
Okay. So, like, say someone really made you really angry. Like, they took your Skittles. Mm-hmm. And, like, this person knows they took your Skittles. They know they're the only person that's ever taken your Skittles.
Right.
So you tweet. You don't mention them by name. You just tweet.
So you don't say Skittles Joe.
No, you don't say Skittles Joe. You just tweet. And you say, hey, next time you want some Skittles, don't steal mine. Or, hey, stop being such a Skittle thief. But you don't mention them, but then they see it because they follow you. And then they're like, oh, they're subtweeting me. And then that's where you get the, hey, at me next time. Because it's like, hey, at me next time. So you want to talk about me.
Put an at yeah. Like say it to my face.
Yeah. Like, don't talk behind my back. Say it to my face. Exactly.
On Twitter.
Say
it to my Twitter face.
Say it to my Twitter profile, Abby.
Say it to my intentionally ugly profile picture.
That I made of you.
That I made of you.
Right.
Ooh. Okay. That's intense.
That's where things get real intense in the Twitterverse.
That just sounds to me like passive-aggressive tweeting.
It is.
Okay.
But sometimes you can passive-aggressive tweet with no specific target in mind. Mm-hmm. Just like you're really angry, like, oh, I hate teachers.
Yeah.
I hate people. I hate books. I don't hate books, but you know, it's just examples. Like, books aren't going to get offended, but like all teachers aren't going to get offended by my I hate teachers tweet. It's like, and in general. But then if you want someone specific, you got to come with a specific example.
Right. Without mentioning them.
Because then they know it's about them. But if they say, hey, why'd you tweet about me? You can say, I didn't mention you by name. What are you talking about?
This sounds really complicated.
This
is all very, like, there's a lot of landmines here that you might stumble
When you
across.
grow up around it, it's just kind of like your way of life. Because like your survival mentality is how to subtweet.
That's scary, though, because it sounds like, in general, you know, and we didn't get into everything. Like, I know that there, you know, back in my day, there was like LiveJournal.
I don't know what that is.
Which it's sort of like Tumblr.
Oh, okay, I have a Tumblr. Mm-hmm.
Right, and it's a kind of an old school Tumblr. And I know that there was like the brief interlude where like MySpace existed.
I remember having a MySpace for like a week.
I think it was like after you or after me and before you. I think it was almost like the MySpace moment was so brief because I didn't have a MySpace.
I had one for like a week, and I was like,
that's not cool now.
There are a bunch of old people on here. What do I do? And then I deleted it.
I think, though, that what's tricky is it seems like there's a lot more ways for you guys to communicate with each other than there was.
Definitely.
And to constantly be communicating. I mean, you had to be pretty direct, like, especially when I was younger and you wanted to call somebody. And that's like a finite amount of time because, for one, it's like the parent's phone. And, like, you got to know, too, there was a time where we paid for all this phone communication. You paid
for it?
Yeah, you paid for, not so much for like local calls on a landline necessarily, but like for text messages you paid, for the minutes you spent on your phone you paid.
See, now I just have all those unlimited texts.
Yeah,
all the texts.
There was a time where all that cost a lot more money, and like your parents were watching it because, you know, your parents were probably paying for it.
Right.
And it seems like now you can be constantly in contact with your friends or your frenemies.
Yeah. I mean, I'm going to guarantee you when we're done, open my phone, turn it on, I'm going to have at least 50 text messages.
See, and I might have one or two, maybe.
Well, I mean, it's all the group text too. It's not even people like they're talking to me directly.
See, I would say, Rileigh, that to get back to your initial kind of quandary, because I think that is something it's hard for me to relate to because I never would have been in that kind of group text situation. Right. But I would say that if you have, like, if you use that for like fun to like tell each other funny things, because like I'll snap funny pictures and send them to my friends sometimes, like just you know, that kind of thing. I think text messaging is good for that. But I think if it's anything more complicated, if you're saying anything serious, if it's something you really want to tell somebody, if it's how you feel about something, and certainly if it's something that like might hurt somebody or upset somebody else,
right?
I think you got to go old school.
And call them?
I think you got to call somebody. Or I think if it's really big and buckle down, I think you got to go face to face.
What?
I think you have to have face to face conversations because there's so much nuance in the way we say things that text messaging loses. And there's so much that you might say to a person by themselves that you aren't going to say in a text message to 15 of your friends.
Right.
So that's what I would say. I'd say if it's just like for funsies, you know.
Dang.
Then
I haven't done that in so long. I mean, like, I talk to people face to face. I don't just like stare at my phone all day and like text people I'm in the same room as them. But like, can't remember the last time like I had like something serious to talk to one of my friends about and I said it to their face.
I think you'd get closer to your friends if you did.
Maybe I just start a cool new trend.
I think you'd start knowing who your friends really are. How about that?
And then we reach the real message,
which is,
I don't know.
Friends are gold and silver, and there are new ones and old ones.
Okay, I think maybe you should
stop.
I don't.
Both.
I don't think you even know what you're saying.
There was a rhyme.
There was something in there, but I don't think we found it.
So I think that was good advice.
That was good.
That was helpful. Yeah. I think I understand more now how you young kids communicate.
Yeah. Maybe you can go start a group text with all your friends, and now I'll implement my new away message.
We've all learned something, Rileigh.
Thank you, Sydnee. Thank you so much.
Well, and thank you for listening to our show. Thank everybody who listened to our first episode.
Yeah.
Thank you for tweeting at us, for joining our Facebook group. So check out Still Buffering on Facebook.
Yeah, there were so many things on Facebook that you were talking about I didn't even know existed.
Yes. Thank you so much for all your suggestions. We would name you all, but there were too many of you to name. But thank you for everybody who mentioned all that stuff that we talked about. And for participating and for liking us and for downloading our show and reviewing us on iTunes. Thank you so much. Tweet at us at stillbuff. You can email us at stillbufferinletters@gmail.com. Yep. Still buffering letters. You can, of course, tweet at me at Sydnee McElroy.
You can tweet at me at Rileigh Smurl. It's spelled weird, but you'll figure it out.
And thank you so much. We're so excited to be doing this, and we're so excited that all you guys seem to like it. Thank you to Maximum Fun for hosting our show, for letting us be a part of your wonderful network. And check out their other brand new show, Schmanners, by my lovely brother and sister-in-law. Yeah, brother and sister-in-law. Think of them as brothers and sisters.
No, don't do that.
I mean, not to each other. No, they're the lovely
they're
husband
our
and wife
brothers and sisters
combo. Basically. Travis and Teresa McElroy. Check them out because they're adorable and informative.
Yeah, it's great. And thank you to the Novellas for the use of our theme song, Baby You Change Your Mind.
Yep, it's excellent. Thank you so much. Check them out. Check out their music. They're wonderful.
And I think that's it.
That'll do it for us, Rileigh.
All right. Well, I am Rileigh Smurl.
And I'm Sydnee McElroy.
I am a teenager.
And I was too.
Hi everybody, I'm Justin McElroy, the oldest brother from my brother, and me.
I'm Travis McElroy, the middleest brother.
I'm Griffin McElroy, and you can deduce where I come into things.
If you haven't been listening to an advice show for the modern era every Monday on MaximumFun.org, then this is what you've been missing. Jokes.
Hi everybody, it's me, Cowboy Greg, and I'm here to tell you one of my classic railroad jokes.
Celebrity impressions.
I'm Zooey Bechamel.
Fun facts.
There's a bear behind you.
Not
Join us every Monday on MaximumFun.org or on iTunes or wherever podcasts are served.
Like Denny's.
MaximumFun.org.
Comedy and culture.
Artist owned.
Listener supported.